Detroit City Council President, Monica Conyers.
I said, this is just wrong. I said, we're going to have to pay back the $20 million if they can't come up with it and it reverts back to the city. We're not getting anything for the property because it's located on the waterfront. You know, the Cobo Arena isn't a part of this deal because they think it is, but it's really not because it has over 10,000 square feet. And what's going to happen to Joe Louis Arena if we allow the Illegals to move? If we're going to have an empty building over here on the corner, what are we going to do with that? You know, it's just so many things. And then yesterday on your show, she thinks I don't listen. Good, bad, or indifferent, I listen. A gentleman called from the North American Auto Show, and he says, we want the docks fixed. That's the first thing I said. But it's like nobody believed in things, and now all the roosters are coming home to hatch because everything I said in the beginning is now what they're coming back and saying is what should be done. And why don't you just do it? Just do it. We don't need a regional authority. We don't need you to take over anything from us. We need to keep it ourselves. If you want to help us, just give us the money. It's not that hard. It's just like my colleague said, you gave it to Grand Rapids and they didn't have to pay $1 back. Not 1 penny, not a half a cent, not nothing. So why can't you do it for us? And you know, not to talk about your colleague in the Senate, but he gave all this money to the old Tiger Stadium that we want gone, that we don't want to keep. He got earmarks for them. Can he get some earmarks for us? We really like that. So I'm going to write up a letter to all of our elected officials in Washington, D.C. and ask them for some earmarks to help us with Cobo Hall. Because we have to march on Washington, D.C. to get our money for Cobo Hall. That's what we're going to do. What's going to happen to the contractors who've been in Cobo Hall year after year after year providing a service to us and staying here when no one else wanted to come here? They're just going to be out the door. Well, I think it's time to stop. I think it's time for them to be accountable to us. And the governor can't continue to tell us to take it or leave it because we didn't tell her that when DeVos was whooping her tail in the last year. And we have to go to Washington, D.C. to tell us we don't want to be treated like this anymore. It's time to stop, starting with Detroit, and that is what we're going to do.